Welcome back to the Montreal Expos franchise. We're getting this series underway, and I am having a lot of fun so far, and I'm enjoying your guys' interactions as well. Make sure to be active in the comment section. I am very active there, so with our series, I want you guys to have influence. So make sure you keep hitting that like button, keep commenting down below. I enjoy that quite a bit. Today's episode, we will start out here looking at our top prospects in the organization. I wanted the first two episodes to be dedicated to the MLB level, but now we start to look at some of our top prospects. And in MLB The Show 24, they finally had it so that you can see your top prospects on the screen. And they also expanded the top 50 prospects to top 100. We have one prospect in the top 100, and that is left-hander 19-year-old Gary Shoemaker. We get to see him in some action right here, but the scouting report is that he is still a couple of years away from the MLB level, but he's got an amazing fastball, but has to learn to control it. And we will see that here. It can reach up to 99 miles an hour, and you never know in the future. It's probably going to be in the 100s possibly, but I think he's got to get a good second pitch, and we'll see what he does here today. Here he starts out with a low, that's going to be a low two-seam fastball and a ground ball to second base, the first out of the inning. Like I said, he's got to get that nice second pitch, whether that's going to be his changeup, whether he's going to develop a little slider or a curveball, but a great play by the second baseman right there. And it will be the second out of this inning as he faces the number 3 hitter. This time it's Allen in the 15th pitch of the at-bat. 3-2 pitch, high fly ball to center field, and that was 98 mile an hour on the gun. Fly ball out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Shoemaker is only 19, so we have no rush to get him up to the MLB level. This year is going to be all about developing the guys that we have and having a good season 1 draft. As he faces here with 2 outs, Gold, who's in that 6th spot, he hits one deep to left field. This one's gone. And that's over the wall in left field, and that's Gary Shoemaker's kryptonite right now. That fastball does have to be controlled, and so does the other pitches as well. But he is our top prospect, and he's going to have a very, very bright future. The number 2 prospect in our organization, along with our number 3, are probably the closest to being at the MLB level. Augustus Macklin, a big-time lefty bat. He was a 5-year senior coming out of the University of Missouri. He can really mash the ball, and we'll get to see him right here in action. He starts out at the Red Wings level, at the AAA level, and we'll see what he does there. If he struggles at AAA, I could move him down to AA, but I don't foresee that happening. He's too good of a hitter. I think he's still one of the better hitters in AAA, and he's our top hitting prospect. Here 0 for 2 in this game, and you can just see the power right here. He goes to left center, and that one will get all the way to the wall, and he will have a double. He doesn't have great speed, only 28 speed. And I think he's going to be our future at first base. He can play a little bit of corner outfield, but that 28 speed makes it tough to put out in the outfield when you can't really run too well. Later on in this game here, bottom 7, he hits one well to left center. This one's carrying all the way over the center fielder's glove. This one will clear the bases. Macklin with 2 RBIs on this one, and he's going to make it all the way to third with a triple. A rare triple from Augustus Macklin, but that bat is going to be his calling card because he's got the alley power, and you can see it right here on full display. And he's going to be a bright player in the future at the MLB level. The next player I want to highlight here, who is number 3 in our prospect rankings, is Jamal Watson, a 26-year-old lefty from Jamaica. But he is very, very polished. And being 26, you would expect him to be that. And through a couple of starts, he has a 1.54 ERA, a .77 whip. He's really, really good, and we are going to see him in action right now. He's got a very, very good command of the strike zone, and that's really what he's great at. And I think that he's got a chance to be moved up to the MLB level pretty soon. I was projecting that he would be at the AAA level all season to develop, but he might be ready sooner rather than later. I don't want to rush him because I do not want to mess up his development, but he could be a potential really good player in the future of the rotation. Here he faces Luke's at the plate, swing and miss at that one. A low changeup, 86 mile an hour. His changeup is really, really nice. It's very tough to get a good bat on as he faces Daniel Vogelback here in that 3 spot. Fly ball to left field, and it's 3 up, 3 down for the opposing team. And he's just a guy to look out for. Watson, he's not going to be a guy that's going to strike out a lot of guys. He's going to just have great command of the strike zone, and that's how we have to use him. We don't want to go after hitters. We want to just put them in awkward positions where they have bad counts to hit the baseball, and they just have to swing at anything close, and that's just what he does right there. Double play ball, now 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Strike 3 swinging at the low changeup. That is what he is, and he's very, very good at it. That command is definitely going to take him places, and I'm excited for him to eventually get moved up to the MLB level. Here in this game, 6 1/3 innings pitched, only 3 hits given up, only 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. But, I mean, just incredible. He's going to have like around a 1 ERA for at least like the first half of the season, I'm predicting. It's very, very hard to score runs when he's on the mound. So let's move on here in our top 20 prospects as we land here at number 4, Alexander Santiago. Now, he is very, very comparable to Watson, but Santiago isn't as polished. Now, he can go the distance. His stamina is at 97, but he's just not as polished as what we saw from Watson, but he's actually pretty decent. He's going to have to learn to not walk as many guys, but I think that just comes with development. Here he faces Vogelback here with the man on first base, 3-2 pitch. Ground ball down the third baseline, thrown on to second, on to first, and Vogelback with only 2 speed will not beat that one out. And we do turn the double play right there. Our second best hitting prospect here at number 5 on the list is BJ Gibbs, a very good defensive outfielder who is going to develop into something that I think could reach the MLB level. Now, I think it's up to him on how good he's going to be. But if he produces in our minor league system, he can develop those skills a little bit more. He needs to become a much better hitter. His power is never going to be great, but his contact does have to improve. But with good speed, it's going to take him places along with being good defensively. Look at Jason Hayward as a perfect example as Gibbs gets to second on this one. Jason Hayward has never been, a great hitter, but he's been awesome defensively, and it's kept him in the league for this long. And Gibbs could be the same way, which is why I have a guy like Jason Hayward in our organization to mentor the young guys like this. But Gibbs has a chance to be something, and I think he could be, especially with his defensive ability. Next on the list is Aiden Moreau. Now, he is coming out of the bullpen right now, but he is technically a starting pitcher. But with how I've seen him through the first couple of starts, I want to see what he looks like coming out of the bullpen. It hasn't been great in a couple of starts for him. So looking at his ratings, he has high walks per 9, pretty low hits per 9 and strikeouts per 9, but his stamina is also, as a starter as well, pretty low. So I want to see what he does coming out of the bullpen. And here he faces the middle of the lineup here for the opposing team here at the AAA level. That one is a ground ball to second. Next batter up, grounds to the first base line, and that one will get past Augustus Macklin playing first. And they will get a single here with 2 outs. And that's Escobar that brings up the 5 batter. Robertson, who gets enough bat on this one, and that goes into left center field. And now let's see if Moreau can pitch out of this jam as he faces the 6th hole. And that's a swinging strike 3, 95 mile an hour on that fastball. And we do get the swinging strike 3. So those were the 4, 5, and 6 prospects in the organization. You can kind of interchange the 3 of those guys. I don't really have a particular order for them. But now we get to kind of the guys that have the longest shot of getting to the MLB level eventually. We start with Caleb Callaway, a catcher who is 22 years old. I mean, he's got a whole lot of development to do, but he's only 58 overall. Can he put together good enough seasons to improve in overall? There also is a quicker way, and I will highlight this as our series goes on, to develop, and that's by getting the awards for Minor League Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and Pitcher of the Year in our organization. We will be awarding that to our team each year, to players within our organization, and they will get ratings boosts. And I kind of do that every year. It's not a huge ratings boost, but if you do win Minor Leaguer of the Year, you go up +3 in everything. So that will definitely help out development if you earn that award. The next guy I want to highlight here is a power bat in our organization. At 24 years old, he actually does have a decent shot of making the MLB level. It's Levi Hanks, who's got awesome power. And then also at the Red Wings, on that Red Wings team, is Lucas Valdivia. I believe that's how you say it. Correct me if I'm wrong there in the comments section, but I will say Valdivia. Now, he is a pretty good defensive and young shortstop. I think he does have a bright future, but he's got to string together a couple of nice seasons in the minors to show that he could potentially be an MLB level talent. But who knows? Because based on the draft and bringing in new players, he could be blocked from the MLB level. But right now, he's one of our top shortstop prospects, and he's going to be at least at that position for a year or two unless we draft a guy ahead of him. Who knows? Here is Levi Hanks to the plate, though, and he's got a really good power bat from the right side of the plate, and here he walks, but he's a guy to look out for in our organization as well. All of those guys we just listed are like 22, 23, or 24, so like I said, they have an outside chance of developing into a very good MLB level player, but they're still young, so they do have youth on their side. The last player in the top 10 I want to highlight here is Matt Erickson. He is a lefty, and I think you see at this point, you know, some of the potentials are lower, some of the overalls are lower, and these are guys that really have an outside chance of developing into MLB level talent. So we go through 11 through 20, and we will kind of go through this a little quicker. Blaze Clark is a utility guy. He is 21 years old, so he is pretty young. Peyton Aller is another one of those outfielders that's pretty good defensively. He's going to have to develop that bat. He does have good vision at 53, but his projected ETA isn't until 2028. Jared Wood, 23 years old, 60 overall, C potential. I'm not sure what he does well, but so far he has decent numbers as a starting pitcher at a 1.31 ERA and a 1.31 WHIP. Jackson Shell, 26-year-old third baseman. I'm not sure what he does well. He's got decent power for a minor league player, but he's 26. How much is that going to develop? Drew Kimura, good contact player, 23 years old. His ETA is 2027, so maybe a little quicker than the other prospects. Chance Hawkins, 56 overall, 24 years old. He is a third baseman as well. We have a couple of third base prospects in this top 20. Amir Gio, I don't even know how to say the last name, Gio-Tiepi, I believe that's how you pronounce it. He looks decent, and he's one of our few closing pitchers in the organization. Marquise Grissom Jr., 22 years old, but D potential. Probably won't turn into anything. Ricardo Emanuel, 24 years old. Relief pitcher, he does everything pretty much the same around 50. And then Tanaj Thomas, who is a 24-year-old pitcher, 56 overall and C potential. So as we look at our prospects, all of you guys will have a chance to be in the series, as I will be taking submissions at some point this season. Not this episode, but we have a lot of season to go. And in season 1 and 2, we're going to be, trying to focus on player development and individual players rather than team success. So you want to keep that in mind. We have started out the season kind of rocky, obviously, because we have one of the worst rosters in baseball. It's all about player development, like I just got done saying. But there are a couple of bright spots I want to highlight. Jason Hayward's hitting 346, so a late career resurgence from the 5-time Gold Glover. Lawrence Butler's hitting 324. I definitely want to get him more at-bats. Dairon Blanco is hitting 276. I've been impressed with him so far. Lamont Wade Jr. is struggling. He's hitting 224. Santiago Espinal is only hitting 207 through the first 15 games or so, and I need to see that bat come around. Otherwise, he could be on the early trade block as well. And I imagine we are going to be trading away players here in season 1, trying to get some assets back. And I think that Espinal, if he continues to struggle, he could be one of the first shipped out. We'll see. Because we do have a younger infielder in Jeter Downs who I want to get more playing time to, because I want to see what he could turn into. You never know. You know, some of these guys may just play above their potential in their ratings and end up being really good players. And I would be not doing my job if I didn't give these young guys these opportunities to prove what they can do. So here we are at game 17. We are taking on the LA Dodgers. I really wanted to play this game to see how we would measure up to one of the best rosters in all of baseball. And the Dodgers obviously signed Shohei Ohtani. They have Mookie Betts. They have Freddie Freeman. And now they have Walker Buehler on the mound, who's having a terrible season. Look at these numbers. 2.79 whip, 15 ERA. He is 0-3. I would not have expected that from Walker Buehler. And he will face Xavier Curry, who is not having a great season also. Not as bad as Walker Buehler, but we'll see if we can take advantage of a rough start for Buehler on the season. So here is Dairon Blanco to lead off this game. He gets an outside fastball, and that one will be ball 4. So we start out here with the walk. And with Blanco on first, you know we're going to be looking to swipe a bag, and that brings up Tim Anderson to the plate, hitting .283 to start this season. He's having a really good start here as the pickoff move to first will not be in time. Blanco is back, and we will actually hold on the steal on this pitch as Walker Buehler delivers to the plate. Pitch over the middle. Tim Anderson hits it well to left field. That one will be down to center field. And look at Blanco. Blanco's headed home from all the way from first, and he will score. It's 1-0. That speed really does come in handy for Blanco, and it's going to keep his MLB career alive a lot longer than others would, because if he can at least pinch run, that's a good thing. Here is Lawrence Butler here to the plate. .324 average so far to start this year, and the 23-year-old is the youngest player on the MLB roster. As he gets one low, a hanger, he fouls that one off. Outside fastball, he fouls that one off. Inside fastball, he fouls that one off. And now he works it to a 3-2 pitch. The 18th pitch of the inning is crushed to center field. That is not coming back. Lawrence Butler, the 23-year-old first baseman / outfielder, comes through, showing off the power. That's his 3rd home run of the year. 455 to dead center. He absolutely tattooed that pitch. And it's 3-0 here for the Expos on the road. I don't think the hometown fans saw this one coming. There's a lot of empty seats, by the way, here in Dodger Stadium. And it's 3-0. Lamont Wade comes up here with 2 outs, hitting in that 6th hole, and he will fly out in the infield. But a 3-0 start here for your Expos. And so far in games we have played pretty well. So here is Mookie Betts leading off the Dodgers as he gets one low, and will turn on this one down the left field line. And that one will be a stand-up double here for Mookie. And now the Dodgers, well, they're having a rough start to the season, but they still have these superstar bats. Freddie Freeman to the plate here with 1 out. He just gets some wood on this one. It's a ground ball to short. Tim Anderson with a nice throw across his body, and he will get the out at first and hold the runner up. As that brings up Shohei Ohtani to the plate, hitting .299 on the season, and he pulls this outside fastball. That just shows the power. That was close to the warning track, and that was an outside fastball, and he was ahead of it, but it will be the 3rd out of the inning. Tim Anderson to the plate once again here in the top of the 3rd. He hits this one to the right center gap this time, and he will have his 2nd double of the game as he does stand up and stay at second. And we got a man on second base here in the 3rd inning, and Anderson has his 6th double on the year so far through 16 games. Jason Hayward to the plate now, gets a hanger over the middle of the plate and hits one well to left center. That one will get all the way to the wall and left, and it will be back-to-back doubles here for the Expos, and a 4-0 lead here from Montreal. The 3rd double of the year here for Jason Hayward, and his hot bat continues. As that brings up Kyle Higashioka to the plate now. He's hitting in that 5th spot, and I have been switching he and Sam Huff behind the dish, but he swings and misses at that outside fastball right there. But it's a 4-0 lead here for Montreal. Here comes Mookie Betts back to the plate now, and he hits one well to left center. That one gets to the center fielder, Blanco. We come up throwing to the cutoff man, and no runs will come across on that one. But now they have runners on the corners, as that will bring up Miguel Rojas to the plate now. 0 for 1, and a 1-2 pitch is going to be low, and this one's hit up the middle, and a good flip to second, on to first for the double play. Well, do you want to earn some playing time? Use your glove. It's Jeter Downs with the flip that time, and he does get the double play, and we get out of that inning. As here comes Lamont Wade up to the plate. Has struggled so far to start this season. He's 0 for 1. He gets one over the middle of the plate, and he's not going to miss that one. It's gone. A no-doubt home run for Lamont Wade Jr. to start the 4th inning. And Walker Buehler's struggles continue this season, and Lamont Wade makes him pay. And it's going to be 5-0 here as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning. Freddie Freeman at the plate. He's struggling. He swings at that one way out of the zone, as that brings up Ohtani again. Remember, he had that long fly ball to right field on the outside fastball earlier. Now a 1-2 pitch, and he checks his swing on the circle changeup. And how about Xavier Curry? No runs given up through 3 3/4 innings, and this one is a ground ball to short. James Outman, long throw from Anderson, and Outman will beat that one out. Anderson had a nice play on the backhand, just couldn't get the arm strength on that throw. As that brings up Kike Hernandez here with 2 outs, and he gets him to swing and miss. And we get through 4. No runs surrendered here on the road to the Dodgers. We start the bottom of the 5th inning. Curry still on the mound here facing Andy Pages, who hits one down the right field line. That one will be a stand-up double, and rounding second pretty hard, but will not go to third as Pages, and he will be on second. As that brings up Diego Cartaya. He walks as well as the top of the order comes up, and you know who hits leadoff here for this Dodgers team. It's Mookie Betts, who's already 2 for 2 with a double and a single in this one, as he's got a 2-2 count with 1 out. He gets one over the middle of the plate, hits one well to center field, back at the wall, and it's a home run. Mookie Betts is single-handedly keeping the Dodgers in this game. He's 3 for 3. That's his 6th home run of the season. And now it's just a 5-3 game, and we got the middle of the lineup coming up next. So the skipper comes out. He's seen enough from Curry. He's had a good outing so far, except versus Mookie Betts, it seems like. And we bring in Zach Birdie out of the bullpen. He's only pitched 2 innings. That ERA is extremely high, but we do need to get him some action in order to keep our guys loose. Here's Freddie Freeman once again swinging at that high fastball. Remember that from the last at-bat, and gave it to him again, and he whiffed. That brings up Shohei. Another outside pitch, and he hits it down the first base line, and we get out of that inning. Top 7 now, Zach McKinstry playing in the corner outfield today. That one will be a single up the middle. Good diving stop that time by Rojas playing short. As now we have a man on first base, and Gene Segura, who got the start at third base today, comes up hitting in that 9 spot. Facing Tony Gonsolin, and he will swing, and this one belted to left field. Gone. Gene Segura signed just before the season started as just a bench bat, and he gets the start today, and he's been hitting the ball actually pretty well. Way better than Buddy Kennedy, way better than all these other guys that we have been struggling with so far. And the Expos end up going into Dodger Stadium and shutting down the Dodgers with a 7-3 victory. The only runs scored were due to Mookie Betts pretty much. And I got to admit, this was a surprising road victory here versus a very good Dodgers team. And I love to see the long ball, seeing Lamont Wade, Lawrence Butler, and then Gene Segura all go deep. That's amazing, but we get a big win. Obviously, it's not going to matter much, but we get a win nonetheless. But through the month of April, it's not pretty. I mean, we are showing that we are one of the worst teams roster-wise in the MLB. as we lose a lot of games in April. We get to the start of May and lose the first 2. And now we get to our first home stand here in the month of May at 8-23. That is tied for the worst record in all of baseball right now, tied with the Colorado Rockies, who are also 8-23. But we have a long way to go in this rebuild. I don't want that record to discourage anybody here in this series, but I think it's going to be a lot of player development, a lot of player-focused stories here in Season 1. One being Tim Anderson. You know, I initially drafted him to be the star of this team, and he is living up to that bill. He's hitting pretty well so far. A surprise here is Dairon Blanco. He's hitting .269, an on-base percentage of .350, OPS at .802. I didn't know how good of a hitter he would be, but he's impressing me so far. Lawrence Butler's doing pretty well, too, to start out his Expos career. And at age 23, he is definitely going to be on the roster here in the long haul. Santiago Espinal has corrected his ways a little bit. He's back to .250, so I guess through those next 3 weeks, he started hitting the ball well. Jason Hayward's average dipped down to .241, and Lamont Wade hitting the same. But then we get to the rough part here of the lineup. Sam Huff, Buddy Kennedy, and Will Brennan are all hitting pretty much 200 or below. And looking at Buddy Kennedy and Will Brennan specifically, they're hitting below 100. That is awful. So next episode, we're probably going to end up moving them down to the AAA level. Pitching-wise, Javier Assad is 0-5. That's not good for a young developing pitcher. But Elvis Peguero is doing pretty well out of the bullpen. He's having one of the better years so far out of our bullpen guys. But I do want to highlight that next episode, if we are moving players down, there is a possibility that we can move Jamal Watson up. We highlighted him earlier in the episode. He started 7 games so far at the AAA level. He's given up 8 runs, 1.79 ERA, and a .92 whip. I'm not saying we need him right now at the MLB level, but if he's ready, we possibly could move him up. I'm not sure if we should do it right now, but let me know down in the comment section if you think we should move him up. So that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And next episode, I want to highlight the first matchup. We will face the Toronto Blue Jays. That Canadian rivalry is renewed here with the Expos. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in a dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side, this how we slide. This how we ride, yeah, this how we ride.